Hey, welcome back. This is the exciting thing. How long ago was the first time you came here?
Probably just a couple years ago, believe it or not. Yeah.
It has been a mainstay of recreation in the Cascade Lakes region for a long time. The lodge goes back 60, 70, 80 years.
Yeah, and the cabin's even longer. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the history.
The history of Elk Lake Lodge started out small.
A gentleman from New York who moved out to Oregon came up here on the Cascade Lakes Highway, which is right behind us, the original one. In 1912, he built a little cabin down by the water, and his wife would make pies for the travelers, and that's how the lodge started. She'd just serve them pies and coffee, and they'd go on their way.
But bit by bit, the lodge started taking shape and opened up in 1932. Mitch Cole, now a co-owner of the lodge, estimates that hundreds of thousands of folks have visited the lodge since its beginnings.
We're the closest resort to Bend, and it's a recreational lake, so there's not water skiers and wakeboarders. So there's a lot of swimmers. We've been getting busier every year. Typical weekends, there'll be a few thousand people up here.
Just as the founder's wife did for travelers at the turn of the century, today's Elk Lake Lodge owners did for firefighters just a few years back.
There was a very substantial fire in 2005, and we had to feed hundreds and hundreds of firefighters. And my partners and I were making box lunches and sandwiches in the lodge, giving the firefighters meals. Some of them were sleeping in the lodge. The fire was the Davis Lake fire. I'm not sure if that's the technical name for it, but it encompassed a very large area about 15 miles from us.
While its hospitality runs steady over the decades, physically, Elk Lake Lodge has morphed quite a bit.
Cabins have come and gone over the years. The original two cabins are still on site. We don't rent them. They're just there for historic purposes. The last cabin was built, I think 2 cabins were built in '04, so the cabins, some of them burned down over time. Our highest cabin number is cabin 27, but there's only 13 cabins here. So through the years we've lost them. I don't know where they were or where they were lost to, but I know some burnt down, and they were rebuilt over the times.
So we've uncovered the mystery of the Elk Lake cabins.
Yeah. Cabin number 1. We don't know where it is. I get people that come back that worked here in the 50s. It's amazing. Every single year there's someone that comes up to me and says, I remember this place in 1948 or 1956. They rent cabins that they remember renting the original 2 cabins. That's where I get a lot of the information from. We're so lucky to have places like this, especially in Oregon. They just don't exist very often.